It is time. It is time to brew your best beer.
Alright guys, today I'm brewing up the SJ Challenge beer. I'm doing a 10-gallon batch today. 5 of it's going to go to my brother's girlfriend's 30th birthday party, which is in like a month and a half or so, I think. So half of it's going to go there, and then half's going to the challenge. So yeah, 10-gallon batch. It's going to be a West Coast American Pale Ale is basically the recipe. 6%. I can't give out any of the details there, not until afterwards. I'll post after the challenge. Once the beers are all shipped out and stuff, I'll post the recipe. Or I don't know if I should post the recipe until after judging. I might do that just so it doesn't sway any opinions. But I did mention that it's going to be a Brett beer, so I will give it that. So it's going to use brux trois, I've heard it called. It's really confused on how to say it. I've never heard anyone. I've heard people say it trois. I always want to say it another way. So, anyways, it's by White Labs. But yeah, so we got the beer mashed in right now and heating up some strike water. So we'll be sparging about 45 minutes or so, and adding a ton of hops. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I've been harvesting up the yeast for about 2 weeks now, so I've got 2 different starters going. I made a starter out of one. I made like a 1600 milliliter starter. Or I actually stepped that up twice because that Brett, whenever the White Labs does their Brett, they only put like just a little tiny bit in there. I think they assume it's all going into a secondary fermentation. So instead of getting, you know, that much yeast in the vial, it's like that much. So I did a small like 400 milliliter 1020 wort starter, and then I bumped that up to like the 1600 milliliter starter, and then I split that. I decanted that off, and then split the yeast into 2 different starters again. So it's been bumped up like 3 times to get enough yeast for a 10-gallon batch. So hopefully it's enough yeast. I don't know. I might even think that underpitching Brett can give also unique flavors. So that's something I'll have to look into. Probably one of these days I'll do a split batch of underpitched Brett and then a healthy dose of yeast Brett, same recipe and all that, and see what the difference is. Because the other Brett beer, I've made 2 other Brett beers, and one of them I'm pretty sure I underpitched because it didn't do anything for like 3 days, and then on the 4th day it finally kicked up. But it was the coconut Brett version, and that one is actually really good. So we'll see. So yeah, I don't even really know what hops I'm using. I got the grain bill kind of figured out. It's pale ale, so it's not too hard to do that. So I'm going to go into my hop fridge and see what kind of hops I need. Maybe I'll bring you guys down there and show you guys the hop freezer. It's pretty stupid. Alright, down into the basement. Got the kegerator there. I have one of the yeast starters going right there. It's about 1200 milliliters, I guess. And then the other one is back there. But those have been going for like 3 or 4 days. So let me show you guys I'm still on a diet. So I've lost probably about 12 pounds, maybe 15, depending if I take a big shit. But yeah, drinking Michelob Ultra because it's low calorie, low carb, and I really don't drink beer at all anymore, for the most part, unless buddies come over or something like that. But which really sucks because I have a lot of beer on tap. I have I did a 10-gallon batch. I think I did a video of those 2. I got a Pliny the Elder kind of clone. I didn't have all the hops, so I just kind of substituted some in. I used US 05 on it, and it stalled out. I rehydrated 2 packs of US 05 and put it in there, and it still, maybe the packs are bad, but it didn't go for like 24 hours. So the beer has this kind of, and it didn't attenuate very well either. It stopped like 10-14, so the beer has this kind of sweet thing that I'm not super crazy about. But here's the hop freezer. It's kind of stupid. I kind of have too many hops, but Simcoe's, I kind of got it organized. but some Summit. Basically what I do is once a year I'll order, in the beginning of the year, I'll order pretty much all the hops throughout the whole year. Got some cherries that I'm gonna do some souring. Put some cherries on some sour beers and some apricots too. So that's a different project. Some raspberries I'm gonna maybe do. But yeah, so I got a lot of different hops. Velma. Got some Magnum. It's all kinds of stuff. But I pretty much will use all that throughout the year. Well, if I keep dieting, I won't. But I do a lot of pale hoppy beers, so it's not really that big of a deal. And hops, they seem to last pretty well. What I did this year is the hops that were 2 years old. I did like a hop. I called it my hop freezer IPA, and I just took all the hops that were 2 years old and just doused the beer, tons of late hops, and so it turned out okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through here and pull out some hops. It's going to be I'm gonna try to accentuate the kind of tropical fruit that I'm hoping that this Brett makes. I've had a Brux trois commercially lately, and it was actually super clean. Almost none of the tropical fruit flavors that I'm hoping this Brett will produce. So it's gonna be a crapshoot, but I'm sticking with it. And so hopefully everyone on the west side of the country, or west coast side, will at least get to try a Brett beer, be it good or bad. You'll get to at least try it and say you've had at least one. So, all right. Well, I'll show you guys what I put in the hot. All right, got the fly sparge going on here. Right in, probably got about 8 gallons in there right now. Check that out. There's 10, 11, 12, 13. Doom. Bam, 13 gallons. Right where I wanted it. Doing a 100-minute boil, so taking a little bit extra. I'm gonna boil some of that off. So. And I hate not filling up a carboy to 5 gallons or more. If I don't fill a carboy up to 5.5 gallons, it really pisses me off. So I like to have a little. I'll leave extra before I go short. So. Quick hop update. Centennials, Cascades, and Chinook. They're definitely popped up. I am also building a hop trellis that goes down about. It goes down about that deep, about 2 foot or so. So what I'm gonna do is build have 2 big poles sticking out right here, some steel poles, and I'll going up and then run some steel wire or something probably across the top, so that these little sweethearts can grow up big and tall. So figured I'd just do a quick update. Okay, I'm drinking the Brett IPA that I made about a month ago. So I'm cheating on my diet, but I figured I've been pretty good about not drinking beer the last month, so I'm drinking some beer today. But it continues to mature. The Brett definitely ages much better than a Saccharomyces does. There's still aroma coming off. I don't get any of the fading. It's basically was like this, and it's probably actually getting better. More of the tropical fruits is coming out of it, but it didn't have the huge hop aroma that the Saccharomyces did. But the Saccharomyces version faded within 3 weeks. It was just like pretty much gone. But the Brett version of this IPA, starting to get a lot more of the kind of sweet coconut, mango-y, pineapple-y, super fruit thing going on. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about here. I did something for the first time I've never done before. I usually do hop stands, so I'll do like a 0-minute addition, and I'll just let it sit in there in the pot for 30 to 45 minutes is typically what I do. Basically just trying to replicate what commercial breweries do and the flavors, and you know, just getting some hop flavor in there instead of just bitterness. So, but what I actually did this time is I've been doing some reading, but with my setup it's a little bit hard, but you get I dropped down the temperature to 175 and then added in my quote-unquote whirlpool hops. So I chilled down some wort in my container here. I did that about 3 or 4 times and pitched it back into the keg, so it chilled down the wort to about 180 to 175, somewhere around there. And then I added my flame out hops. So and again, I'm still waiting, but I have everything ready to kind of gravity feed out of my plate chiller. But I am kind of just stirring this up every once in a while, every couple minutes, just to get the 4 to 5 ounces of hops, that was my flame out hops, into suspension. But yeah, that's about it. That's gonna be the brew day. 10-gallon batch. Got my other carboy over there. But all in all, brew day went good. I think it's gonna be a pretty good beer. It will definitely age better than a normal IPA, which is why I am brewing it, or a pale ale. It's a West Coast pale ale, or a low gravity IPA, whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely going to age better than a normal IPA or pale ale would, this far out in advance. I'm kind of doing it this far out from the actual shipping date on purpose, because I really want the beer to start to do what this beer is starting to do, and that's kind of develop flavors. The Brett is actually changing this beer, even cold. This beer is, because it's from a keg, but it's getting better with age, which is pretty strange to say for a IPA. And the cool thing is I have the exact same beer on an ale version, so I can see the difference between the two, and this one is a much better beer at this point. So I think I'm going to start brewing with Brett a lot more, just because it ages better, and it just it stays fresher a lot longer at this point. This is almost 2 months old, so, and it's still drinking like it would be super fresh. Again, it's not as fresh as, you know, your brand new IPA that you just barely tapped, that's only been in the keg for a week and you force carbed it, but it is really fresh. So alright guys, so that's the sjpoor beer. I wish everyone luck on their beers. I'll be excited to see how everyone's best beer is. So alright guys, well, really looking forward to seeing what beers you guys make and trying the best of the best out there in YouTube land. Alright guys, cheers. So I figured just a little bonus footage. Check out that hop sludge. I'm really happy with this hop screen that I have here. It's a huge tea bag or tea strainer. I'm actually so pleased with it. It's really done a good job. But check this out. That is all hop. There really isn't a whole lot of liquid left in there, which is good. I like that. Just sludge. There's my hop screen, so let's go right around the corner. Yeah, probably 11 gallons. So I'm gonna. My wife thought I was talking to her, but I'll pump it with some oxygen and get it fermenting. I'll show you guys the fermentation and see how it's going. So I will show it in 24 hours. So I'll show it. It's 5:30 right now, Saturday afternoon. So I'll show it Sunday morning. So, alright guys.